whole OBS did an update, and I had to wait. Hey Bruno, how's it going? What's up? Good morning, good morning. So we are on number 93, Tunnel Runner Part 2. And how dare you, phone? How dare you? How rude. Right, so I found some reference that will inspire me. One second, everybody. Can I? Oh, does that work? I hope it works. Almost. Yeah. All right. Cool. Hey Zelin, how's it going? So here is the ref. If anyone is interested in looking at them, being inspired by them, draw your own thing. It's there if you want it. So today, the idea is I will have the references on the side. Actually, let's do it like I actually do it. But I do this on the second monitor, and you guys can see it this way instead. Let's be a little bit educational. Zealand, yeah, exactly. One wheel on the back. Oh yeah. So usually what I do is you can see it kind of behind my cam, but usually what I do is I zoom in, and every time I draw some new area, I look around for something cool, and I move around, so that I don't copy one reference. I don't look at one thing. I constantly scroll around the reference and be inspired by different parts. Hey Stonic, how's it going? Be inspired by different parts as I venture or explore the concept, right? So there's always a tendency to oh yeah, that's right, I wanted two people. There's another guy sitting, maybe holding the spool and laying down the... That's pretty cool. I kind of like that idea. He puts down the phone cable. And on this one, they can actually sit on each side of the... each side of it. So he's actually not sitting in the middle, but he's sitting on the side, you know, like a T. They sit like that. It's pretty cool. And it's the same principle here. There's a guy sitting, and this guy is new. The Pure Ref program for references. True. I don't know how it works, but usually I send the reference to the client in arranged pieces. Like I've done this with a lot of my clients. And let's say I take reference from the reference board, picture 2, 5, 6, and 8. Whatever is in those pieces, you know, I say, oh, this is a really cool element. This is a really cool element, and I, much like I've constructed the ideas yesterday when I was doing the concepts, you know, like what it looks like, what's the thinking behind the concept, and then arrange it underneath each idea. So PureRef, yeah, sure. As far as I understand, PureRef is great to showcase, to display the references on top of your screen, I guess, as far as I understand. But I would still need to assemble it. I would still need to deal with it to send it to the client, unless you can like PureRef just save as. So I guess that's. Hey Sharza, how's it going? How are you? Man, the 1940s race cars, they have so many cool shapes and elements here. Like the little window on this gray car here, amazing. Instantly stolen that idea. I mean, how can you not steal that idea? It's fucking amazing. Hey Mel, how's it going? You're still sick? Oh Jesus. Hey Vedas, how's it going? So I felt like I had exhausts pointing out. I will have one exhaust pointing out. It felt a little bit too much, so I'm pushing that down, the silhouette down, because I want a swooping line like this, and I don't want too much craziness. And I'm gonna also later on, I'm gonna deliberately be vague with the character, because I do want to visit and design the character fully, and we're gonna do the same treatment to the driver, to the rider, and the passenger. We're gonna explore them visually with outfits. We're gonna ideally do the same thing with references. Hey, Hun Basic, where you would find references like this? The references like that is easy. You go to Google. You go to Google. Hey there, Bart, how's it going? Hun Basic. So you go to Google, you search 1940 race car. And then what you do is you use the algorithms of Google, so that when you find a cool image, you click on the image, and then you get related image hits consecutively underneath when you click the image. So all you need to do is you find one cool thing, you click it, and then you kind of algorithm dive into it, and you pick cool things, and eventually you're gonna reach an end of that algorithm dive. But then you just go back to original search, find another image that is interesting, and then you algorithm dive into it, right? Let's actually do this. This might be better for you guys. And you rinse and repeat. Oh man, look at that. Amazing front, crazy cool. And I mean, this is like concept artists would love to be able to come up with an idea like that, right? Yet it exists. You know, someone has already created. Oh yeah, that's right. I found a cool reference for a cool wheel house. What was it? What the? I didn't save it? Oh, here. That. There we go. I'm thinking a lot. That inside of that wheel, so juicy, which makes me want to design. When I saw the ref, I was like, yeah, there we go. It has to be this nice, cool, weird shape, right? It has to be a little bit military. It has to be a little bit hard, right? It has to come off as aggressive. And having the whole wheel blocked in with no cavity in it and having those mechanical aspects, super juicy. I really love that aspect, that design element on here. And the way that that joint is, it's like a block like that, wheel here, and then the axis there. It's a really cool, really basic design. Which makes me just so happy to see in terms of design wise, right? Those are the kind of things that as a concept artist just eats and just enjoys looking at, like, yes, those are do exactly what my idea wants, you know, what my mind has set out, concept wise, idea wise. Or it doesn't need to be exactly like that. It's just an idea of it, and then you translate it into whatever you need it to translate it into in terms of fitting for your concept. The phone line guy. Question is, how should his feet be? Probably just backwards. So I'm doing it all a little bit crude. I'm gonna keep the underdrawing. I'm just gonna try to oh, look at that front bumper. That's like crazy imaginative. This is some crazy shit. I mean, who would come up with that? Like, yep, that's how it should be. You should be able to angle it and angle it. I'm gonna slap some big old light bulbs in front. I just love the 1940s aesthetics. For me, is one of the coolest. There's this magical functionality versus crude machinery. It's just amazing. Hey, Alan, M89, how's it going? Yeah, again, so if anyone wants to take a deeper look at the references, I uploaded them to my website. Alan, yeah, of course, it's functional. It is functional to some degree, but nevertheless, it's such a cool element, and it's so iconic for the time of sorts, right? But if someone would say you're going to draw a 1940 race car, you would not design necessarily that, right? You would go, nah, it's too much. You know, it's a bit too crazy. It doesn't fit the era. Yet, you know, it fit perfectly the era. And then it's all down to how do you design the shapes? How is the construction? How the construction and the shapes and the combination of like proportions and so on. That is what becomes the signifier of the era, of the style, rather than the idea itself. And that's why, for example, I loved yesterday's. Look at my ellipses, pro level ellipses. That's why, for example, yesterday this one wheel tank tread mono wheel idea is cool, because it's not the idea itself that's crazy. I'm quite sure if I Google 1940 mono wheel, there's going to be some crazy person who's designed it. You know? Hey Amir, how's it going? What's up, Miguel? You love it as well. Your personal project is also with those aesthetics and genre. That's awesome. Yeah, there's so much cool shit, and there's so many lovely little shapes in this era that you can be inspired by, and do diesel punk stuff that would just amaze you, you know, when it just comes to the ref. Which is crazy to think. Just the ref alone makes you go like, oh, that's my concept right there. But you can't steal the concept, right? You need to come up with some cool shit yourself and practice and introduce something to the world that doesn't exist. I mean, otherwise you just say model this place. Ryan Villain. I have no idea what that car is, but sounds good. Also, hello. Amir, I am good actually. I am good. All right, so I think we explored this a little bit better. I've refined it and defined it. I'd say this is definitely a candidate to push forward. It has this kind of crazy feeling. I intended on my original brief was idiotic speed. This guy needs to be a little bit bigger, but it does give me the feeling of just that. So I might as well just kind of go ahead and work on this one, but I won't, because I want to explore the other concepts too. But it does tick the boxes for my imagination. If I would art direct this, I would go like, yeah, just that one after the explorations. But I'm sensing that this is the one. Eric Ricky, slick penis shape. Yeah, I agree. There is definitely a cool aesthetics in the era. Hey, Captain Boss, how's it going? Ice Die, what up? Alright, so for this one, I don't want to replicate that feeling, so I'm going to intentionally move away from the same reference. You know, I don't want to be inspired by the same front. I do want some new shape here, even though they are very similar. I do want something different, so that if you would show this to an art director, I mean, I'm going to be my own art director here, but if you would show this to your art director, you wouldn't give him or her the same idea 2 times. Right? The idea with doing explorations is that you who said they wanted conic wheels? Can't remember. But anyways, it's a cool idea. Good for tunnels. Yeah, so the idea here is you show your art director, and the art director will have options. And it's an easy trap to go into when you want to refine your idea too much. And what always happens is that you do the same idea more than once, and you slightly alter the idea, and just because you really like it, And it's a really important thing to practice, to not redraw the same idea 2 times, and have it in variety. Variety will always come afterwards, as in variety version of the same idea. It's really important that you really practice pushing the idea so that you can supply absolutely different looks and feel to the art director, so that they then later on can form an opinion of the options they have. Because there's a lot of times with a lot of artists, especially when they're new, is you're gonna have to handhold them, you're gonna have to pull with nails out relatively unique concept. And with more experienced concept artists, they already know this, they already provide options. Eric Ricky, you said it. All right, that's cool. Thank you for that one. It's a good idea. So, I mean, already looking at these two, yeah, they're similar because they're based on the same proportions, because I copied this guy over, but I'm intentionally moving away from them, looking at them together, so that I'm not repeating myself too much. Because me myself, hey Tassos, after 11 months, I came to the conclusion that art still sucks. Yeah, I know. I should quit. I should quit and become a boob streamer instead. Would be so much easier. Step 1, plastic surgery. Step 2, rake in the millions. Screw art. I mean, I could. Man, in the reference here, I love this kind of cavity into the body, and the little lip with the nail, with the studs, and the exhaust pipe poking out. So cool, so cool. I don't know if I got that much boobs, man. And another thing, what I love in this reference is the kind of inserted exhaust pipe. It's such a cool idea. I'm deliberately not trying to make perfect lines here. I'm shape searching significantly more than trying to make perfect lines. I'm making lines that are good enough to translate the volumes and shapes, and that's it. I'm not trying to make line art masterpieces here. Ricky, no. This, I would need like to print out a new face, and I would wear the face like the printout, and then that would be good. Ryan, how much time an art director would give me to come up with an concepts for idiotic speed? I mean, yesterday and today. Yesterday we did these concepts, right? The exploration of shape. I didn't have references. I didn't have anything. I went in super cold, and only the idea of a tunnel runner of sorts, like some sort of moped guy running information in lava tunnels. That's all I had to go with, right? And it took me half an hour with talking and with sketching and, you know, whatever. It wasn't really, I wasn't really working really quickly or hard. I just had fun, right? And so far we are giving it another half an hour where I'm refining the sketches. So in total, it's an hour. And we would be able to have something to show easily. Well, actually, no, I'm not going to make it in time, I think, with the wheel downstairs, because I've been talking and looking at reference too much. Actually, I'm not going to give him the second person behind. And usually, I'd say on average, one day, working day of for thumbnails, and then one working day when you get feedback to refine the sketches, and then one day to refine the sketches, or bringing it to final. On average, I'd say 3 working days on average, from start to finish. So you collect references, you gather your idea, you concept out the ideas, you bounce them off the art director gives you corrections, you refine your ideas based on direction, and then you ideally get a sign of approval. And then you spend some time refining it and making it pretty. On average, mind you. Vidas, yeah, right? Do you know a real life pen that looks like the one you're using right now? Probably like a thin felt tip marker. You get that scratchiness. Hey, White Math, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's happening? Ryan, how I build that? You tell them usually, okay. You tell them like, okay, I'm gonna, before you start work, you agree to day rate or project rate. After agreed day rate, you also agree to either they tell you how much time you have, or you tell them your estimation of what it might take. But most of the times, especially when you're more senior, they give you a deadline, and then they go like this, you deal with it. And then you go, all right, and you just make it happen, right? But and if it's a new client that you haven't have experience with and so on, they would obviously never do that. They wouldn't just go, not my problem, it's your problem. You always agree to something, right? It's a business exchange. So usually what happens is you give either estimation of time, like 3 days till final, or like a day of expiration and so on. You break it down to them so that they can agree to it, they can sign it off with their money people, and so on. And then they go, yep, that's all good. Money rate is good. Here's the brief. Here's the package of information you need. Let's go. And off to the races you go. And you start exploring. And then you do a good enough job. They go, that's great. Let's do the next one. And you give them, and then they go, that's great. Let's jump up to the next one. And all of a sudden you're 30 characters in, or 30 vehicles in, and you're rolling in money. You're rolling in the money. No, but you're rolling in experience and fame. So these two, I'm pretty happy with them. They're pretty cool. There's a pretty interesting feel to them. I could easily see these painted in. Both of them, actually. This one came across a little bit less crazy. I think it might be the back. It became a little bit too much like a this way it felt a little bit more crazy. And I think possibly I gotta do this. Yeah, that's way more sense of speed. And that curve going down and things like that. I'm looking forward to draw this one, but I'm not going to have time to draw it today. Rolling in exposure. Oh yeah. Ryan, no, of course, you shouldn't give out too optimistic. You need to know yourself and your speed. And sometimes you can sacrifice sleep or energy or be closer to a heart attack and work really hard on a short deadline because you want to or you need to. Sometimes you can say, oh, it's 3 days, but I'm going to spread those 3 days out on a week. But they bill you for 3 days. You know? Tassos, I don't do things for exposure, no. I mean, everything I do gets exposure, but I don't do free work. Right, but okay, we got somewhere actually. I do enjoy the look of these. It will be fun to explore. I'm gonna draw the mono wheel offline. So Monday will be study Monday as per usual. Tuesday we will continue. But I think on Tuesday I will have drawn the mono wheel already. Oh, let's look at Pro 42s. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Airplane cockpit. 4 wheels that can grip the ceiling and floor and angle the wheels onto the... It's cool. It's a pretty cool idea. GG Pro 42. All right, my time is up. I gotta start designing stuff for games. Let's raid Max. Have a good night, everyone. If you're in that part of the world, have a great day. If you're in this part of the world, hopefully have a great day if you're in the future. Have a good weekend. See you guys on Monday for Study Monday. I might stream on the weekend, but I don't know. Ryan, no problem. Have a great one, everyone. I'm gonna do the outro, then take you to the raid, so don't go anywhere. Bye.